All right. One of the most difficult things to do for your project, again, is to have a sustainable competitive advantage. We are in the land of copycats. If somebody sees you mildly successful doing anything, well, here they come. Here come the copycats. So, to have a competitive advantage, we need to do something we can do better than anyone else. And it needs to be virtually copycat proof. I have seen examples of a fruit vendor, vegetables and stuff, in Santolina, and they started very small on the ground, then they built their table, then they got their tent, and they got everything. And then right across the street sets up another person and tries to compete with them. It was really kind of sad and embarrassing that this person just parked right across the street to steal business, or he thought he could steal business from this place. And it was up and coming. When you talk about competition like that, I guess it could get controversial, but you know, if you have one person serving a market at a, you know, they got reasonable prices, they're doing a good job, and then the next person comes in and they start copying them. Now the market has now been cut in half. There's two sides, and this, maybe nobody can survive then. So actually the community would have been better served by the one person who was doing it right. Then the next person comes in, steals some business, splits things up, and then nobody can survive. So that's a little argument quick that competition can be destructive. When the first person was doing nothing wrong, they were serving the customer and at a reasonable price. So anyway, the competitive advantage could be instant, where you come up with a recipe, a formula, a process that nobody can easily figure out in any time soon, and that could be instantaneous. So if you have that perfect recipe for whatever, with the ingredients that nobody can quite put their finger on, but everybody loves it, then boom, you got something. Another thing is that competitive advantages are often built over time. With the learning curve, the experiences, and all of this, we build the knowledge and things like that that make us better and difficult to compete with. Think about us and an airline. It would be very difficult for us to start an airline. They've got the routes, they've got the gates, you know, they've got everything going. It took a while to build that up, but now they're huge, and wow, what are you gonna do with that? Can't compete with that. So how can you, what are competitive advantages based on? And as I just mentioned, an airline, well, that costs a lot of money. So right off the bat, most people can't play. I can't copycat the airline because I don't have whatever. So another way is our operation might be low cost. We can do things at a lower cost than anybody else. We have the supplier relations, we have the processes that are very efficient, and we own all, you know, maybe the buildings, because we have just locations. We operate at a low cost that nobody else can match. So another competitive advantage possibility is speed. If you're quicker than everybody else, that could be an advantage. Think of Domino's or something like that, 30 minutes or less. Supplier relationships, which might go into low cost, are another thing. You have the suppliers that know, and this happens. People have suppliers that you can't figure out where they are. Well, you haven't tried, but you think of a store, and where does all that stuff come from? And we're going, I don't know. So you're out. Where does all the stuff come from at the grocery store? I see trucks at the grocery store, but I don't see that many trucks at the grocery store. Where does it come from? Also, quality. Related to our processes and everything else, really, our quality. And it could be service, our service quality or product quality. We've worked, you know, time after time, we've perfected the processes We got everything down. We got the people on board. Our quality is superior. You'll never match it. Also distribution. That's a tough one, especially being a small country. A lot of things, most everything has to be imported, and can you figure that out? And think about those huge retail chains and how they keep those stores full of goods, so you're never disappointed when you go in there. Those distribution systems are amazing. What about locations? Think about all the locations that maybe a chain store has. That would take a while to build up in most cases, and that would be a competitive advantage. They already have the locations. How are you gonna, match that? It's very difficult. Copycat proof. Shelf space. You go to the grocery store and they have, or the retail place, and they have all of their products on the shelf. And if those products are selling, they own that shelf space. You're not gonna get it. If you wanna go make breakfast cereal, go look at the breakfast cereal aisle, and those products that are there sell. And they basically own that space. You'll have to kick somebody out to get your product in. That's a competitive advantage for them. Another one, just off the top of my head, flexibility and the ability to customize. Can you do it? A lot of, once you get all of this stuff going, now you're not just offering this, but you can offer different versions. We can change it up for you, and that even makes things more complicated. That would add to a competitive advantage. I am very into management, and I think management style might be one of the hardest to duplicate, especially here. Once you get your people on board, and you get them comfortable, you train, you trust, you empower, you do all of that stuff, those people are unstoppable. Many managers can't get it through their head that they need people happy and in a good mood, trained and trusted with confidence, and that's a force that is very difficult to copy. Instead of using a management style of fear and alienation and being a closed system, not listening to the employees. So if you can get that management style thing going, I think, your business model has to be good, right? You have a huge competitive advantage. There's a grocery store in the Northeast US whose motto is, we are in the employee business, we just so happen to sell groceries. Just think about that concept. We are in the employee business, we just so happen to sell groceries. We could go build houses if we wanted to. We got people on board, they're serving people, they're watching them, they're finding out what they need, they're serving those people. So they are in the people business. The selection, that might add to it. Think about the selection at stores. Well, think about it. The larger stores have the big selection, then you have the mom and pop store that only has a few things, and there's really no reason to go there because you might find pasta, but there will be no spaghetti sauce, selection, which that might take a little time. Processes in manufacturing, that could go to our competitive advantage, and our marketing skills. When we listen to customers, ability to listen to customers and stay focused on the customer, not focused on the pocket, on the profits, but focused on the people and developing products or services that better serve them. That would give us a competitive advantage. So there's a lot of ways, and this list could go on. Might be built over time, might be instant. Now I want to look into the red ocean and the blue ocean. This is important for your project. A lot of people focus on the red ocean. The red ocean is where the competition is. The competition. It's a bunch of sharks. These sharks don't look particularly mean today, but trust me, they could get ferocious. And then we start competing. We compete on price and just going crazy on this. So it's just a feeding frenzy, and you don't want to be in there. normally. Your goal should be to sail out into the blue ocean and get yourself that competitive advantage going on with something new. We want something new, and we want no competition. But guess what happens? Here they come. Here come the sharks coming at you. So you have to sail out into the blue sea and get away from them. You'll see this with technology. The company comes up with the new phone. The next company comes up with phones just like it. And then they sail out some more, and then they surpass them a little bit. And it's just, they're all trying to stay in the blue ocean. So your option is, if you're going to build a business, do you want to be in where the competition is, or do you want to come up with something new? And the blue ocean might be the unmet needs of a market segment that no one serves. Think about it. I'm thinking right now diabetes in Belize for some reason popped into my head. Is there a place that we could go to get products that are sugar-free? I mean, a destination. And then could we build up those locations and get those suppliers of all of these and get our selection up and have that? See, I believe that. Currently, I could be wrong. I'm not from Belize City, but maybe that's a market segment who's been overlooked, who could be highly profitable, who we could get really good at serving while nobody's paying attention. We'll be out there in the blue ocean. They'll come to get us, but we'll keep getting better, building our competitive advantage so it's sustainable, not easy to copy.